Paranormal Roundtable. Hope everybody's doing okay this morning. Hopefully you're doing better than we are. Making this video, I've been up all night, and had a rough night. I gotta be honest. So I'm outside the hospital right now, waiting for the doctors to get back with us. So I was at work last night, and Nellie was not feeling well. She started complaining of having a really bad headache when she was already like having problems because of her eye, and the situation got worse. And so we left, and we had to pretty much make her come to the hospital. We had an appointment scheduled in a few days. Well, not I guess, yeah, about a week. And anyways, so she's in the hospital right now, and she's getting an MRI done. They already did the CAT scan, which we already told them that wasn't going to reveal anything. That's why we had the MRI scheduled. Here's a weird thing. She's had the MRI scheduled 3 times, and the place that we're supposed to be getting it done at, there were 2 different places that both had canceled on us, and then another time where the MRI was scheduled and they couldn't do it. It was a tier 3, and they needed to do a tier 3. This was a tier 1, and then they said, well, no, she can do the tier 1, and now it doesn't make any sense. Like everything that's been happening to us is like, it's really odd, really weird. And so I'm not a believer in coincidences. I don't think any of this is by accident. I don't believe it's a coincidence. I'm just, I've been up all night. I'm just tired. I'm here. I hope that everything works out. I'm sitting outside the hospital right now, and I just hope that everything is okay with my wife. I don't know what to do. So Tony's sitting here next to me. You want to say hi, Tony?
Hey everybody, we're just waiting to see what's going on, hoping to hear the news, and hoping she's gonna feel better, but it's just the waiting game, and it's pretty nerve-wracking, because we don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So Anthony's in there but she's been in the MRI for, I don't know, like over an hour. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I know that she started having anxiety real bad last night, and so they gave her something for the anxiety, but she's been back there for a while, and I'm just hoping that this, situation. Please pray for us. That's all I can tell you. I just want, for everybody to just pray, help us out here with some prayers. It's been a long week. It's been a long month, and then this month has been rough, to say the least. And Brent says, what were the symptoms? She's got something behind her eye, and they think it's an aneurysm, but we were supposed to get the MRI done, and then the MRI was canceled over and over again, and we keep trying to get it done, and they can't do anything until the MRI is done. And now, here's the weird thing. She's in there now, and they're having problems. So it's crazy. It's like something or someone is trying to stop her from getting help. And I am convinced that this is something not correct, and I'm not a believer in coincidences, like I said, and I think that this is, I don't know. I think Nellie is one of those people that has brought a lot of light to people's lives. And most people, appreciate Nellie and like her and think she's a good person, except for a handful of,
bad individuals.
bad people who don't, because she won't let them attack me and people that she cares about. So, to them, she's a bad person, but she's not a bad person, and she gives selflessly, and she's a very loving and caring person, so our doctor's been waiting for this MRI, and every time we try to schedule it with the company that's supposed to be, it's the largest one here in Austin. I'm not gonna say the name of it, but it's just one thing after another. Something weird always happens, and we've had it scheduled at night. We had one scheduled at night, and we went up there, and there was nobody in there, so we had to call another one of the locations, and they were like, "Oh, their machine went down," and then they canceled the day before this last time because of some kind of problem rescheduling it or something, and then another time like the machine messed up while we were there, and I was just like, "This is bizarre." Like, so that's what's going on, but Nellie doesn't. She was worried that the people that are working against us, and she and so do I, and so does everybody else, believes that there's a spiritual component here happening. And so she didn't want us to talk about it too much because then they could prepare and try to do something to make this happen. Which makes sense, I guess, in a way. And I don't know, man. And I'm really tired of these people and their shenanigans. And I mean, their whole existence has become about trying to do things to us, and they're doing it mentally, physically, and spiritually. But hopefully, will eventually come to an end. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that I know 100% that it was them that did it, because I don't know. I don't know if they're the ones that are doing this, or if they're using some sort of dark energy or magic. Kind of hard to say. I don't know. But they're very disruptive people, and they've done some very bad things, and they've said that they don't believe that Nellie's got a tumor, which is ridiculous. We're sitting here in the hospital parking lot, and it's she's got a tumor in her right temporal lobe, and this could be affecting a lot of different things. It could be what's causing the situation with her eye. It's a weird thing. The doctor said it was kind of like this high blood pressure in your eye, which is just it's a weird thing. I had not really heard of that, but that's what they said. And I mean, if that's what it is, it's what it is. Um, you know, so while we sit here and we wait, and when she comes back from the MRI, they only have one person in there. I guess I will go and see her. She doesn't want me in the hospital because she's afraid of me getting sick, because she actually cares about me like that, and she really does. And she's worried because, if I get sick with my blood pressure and everything, it could really make me, ill. And it did last time. I mean, so she's been like, even though she's in pain, in a lot of pain, and she's still worrying about me, and that's the kind of person she is. And so I can't replace somebody like that. I've been praying all day and praying all night, just hoping that things get better. And, it just sucks that there are people that just dedicate their whole existence to. And I'm going to be real honest, like her blood pressure was high when she went in, and she's stressed out. She's very stressed out. I know that. And one of the things that she did say was that she was getting it was starting to wear her down, and she's getting tired of these people that are attacking us, and she can't deal with it. She's got a serious medical condition, and we've encouraged her to just like not deal with these people, not fight back, just but I don't have the time to sit there and deal with them. I mean, the most ludicrous things that come out of these people's mouths and the things that they type. And she knows that I don't have time for this, and so she's taken it upon herself, and it has taken its toll on her. And there's a lot going on right now with that situation that she's going to have to be dealing with because she has, all this information. And so we met yesterday. Um, I don't want to say too much, but hopefully it's going to, this person that we talked to seems to be thinking that we can get this done. Um, yeah, I think that's Ellis, is Bigfoot. Just let the attorney yeah, that's the thing. We have to give them the information, and Nellie has collected all of that. And so, you know, and Tony, you made a point, that, it's no coincidence that we had that meeting yesterday, and now all of a sudden she's, deathly ill. Very frustrating. These people, I know that they're the ones doing things, and then they sit around and go, "Oh, you're doing it, yeah, whatever. You're a towel, yeah, whatever, dude." And this one guy that just keeps on with his bull crap, and they make the most ludicrous claims, like some warlock went to them and told them that we were trying to get them to do blood magic. So, you know, this kind of stuff here, this is the kind of stuff we were talking about yesterday when we met, with our council. I don't know any warlock that's just going to have a sudden attack of conscience, and go, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to go and tell them that they tried to get us to do magic." Like, just the most asinine, most ridiculous claims. But folks, you would be absolutely shocked to see the level of stupidity of the people that will actually listen to those people and believe them. A couple of these people that have joined their camp, as of late, were people that I thought were cool with us. They were friends, and they weren't retards, but apparently they are. And it's just so darn frustrating that people can be taken in by that and be that stupid. But you can never underestimate the power of stupid people, and especially in groups. And so, yeah, and so here we are. But Nellie has taken it upon herself to fight this war for us, and in particular to help us at PRT, but also our friends and our family and our allies who have been doing all of the she's been doing all the heavy lifting, to try to combat these people, and like I said, she knows that I don't have time for this crap, but I wish she would just let it go for now, because I once we get everything turned over, I just don't want anything else to do with it. I'm so tired of it. And I'm going to tell you this right now, these people, they stalk us, and so I'm sure they're going to watch this, or they're probably watching it now. This is killing her. This is killing her. If we lay down the cards and we put it down on the table, the stuff that they are doing and saying, and the constant attacks and the nonsense, it has taken a toll on all of us, but it's taken a toll on her. She can't deal with this. This is too much. But I promise you, if something happens to her, they're going to be held responsible for this, because this is a person who has a serious medical condition. And we've asked them to stop many, many times. They've had every opportunity to do what's right and to stop and to quit their nonsense, but they just can't. They won't stop being evil and doing what they do. And their obsession with me and their obsession with PRT, and all of us, has just gone too far. It's gone on too long, and it is just so sick to me, and now she's in the hospital. And it's been over 2 years. And one of them sits there and screams every day on his Facebook saying that he's been attacked for 2 years. Let me tell you something. That particular guy that's saying that idiot that goes to the LBL and sees saber-tooth tigers, I'm going to address you, Mr. BN, okay? You started attacking me in June of 2024. So stop saying that you have been attacked for 2 years because you started it with me in June of 2024. Now, that's over a year. You were away for a while because you went to the hospital because of your blood sugar that we all prayed for you for. And you were gone and I just thought, well, maybe everything's cool. He's going to leave us alone. No, as soon as he's able, he comes right back and starts screaming, yelling, and acting a fool and making all kinds of crazy accusations and riling people up to come after us. Well, there are people who, I don't know, man. There are people who I'm sure he listens to, and you can blame them, but at the end of the day, you're the one that's stupid enough to believe him and listen to him. And one of these men has got to be one of the evilest people I've ever met. And he's just gone out of his way to spread as much confusion and deceit and lies that he can. And then he got this other guy to get involved and do it, and then they turned him against us. And now every day he's over there ranting and raving like a lunatic. So I hope you're happy. Now. You got your way. Y'all wanted something to happen to us. Well, here it is. We're here at the hospital. Oh, boy. But if you guys could pray for protection for us, please, and then pray, that Nellie will be okay and that, she can get the help that she needs. And this could be a blessing in disguise because now we're getting the MRI done, sooner, and I'm just not feeling good. I'm not feeling good. I've been feeling bad all day and all night, and I just, I'm just not doing well. I didn't sleep good last night. Nellie wasn't feeling good, and I went to work, and we had to leave, and it's just been really hard. And then Tony had to work, his shift, and then come and finish ours. And so we've been up here since 2:30 last night.
Yeah.
And I'm just, anyways, I'm just here, I'm stressed out, hoping that everything works out and everything is okay. I can't tell you much more right now. We're just hoping that she's okay. The one thing too, I want to say thank you to everybody who donated on the show on Wednesday. Was it Thursday night show, because we didn't do a Wednesday night show, so we did it on Thursday. I want to thank everybody who donated because you guys helped Hunter. That is Melissa's son. If you don't know who he is, he's been at the center of all this because his dad has decided to wage war on us and everybody in the community. That's what started all this. And I got a question for him. You raised money, supposedly, for his birthday. Where is it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of curious about that, because you, under the pretense of helping your son for his birthday, you still haven't given the money over to him. All the money that you've raised in your son's name, where is it? We gave it to him. We don't even get it until late December. But we already turned over the money. So where is yours? You want to sling mud and accusations and lies? You and your pack of devils? Well, where is the money? I guess you're not going to give it, are you? So this is the kind of people we're dealing with, folks. This is exactly the situation. This is why Nellie fights. This is why I fight. Because these people are ridiculous. So now my wife's over here paying the price, you know, for defending me and defending all of us. And it's just, the ultimate goal was you guys. They wanted you. They wanted my audience. They wanted my audience and the loyal people that follow us. That was the main goal. They wanted to take you guys. And they couldn't get you guys, so now they hate you guys. So now they want to destroy you because, you know, they couldn't do anything to you to turn you. And they got a few little goofball people, you know. The goofy roofer, he managed to get a few people, you know, to turn. You know, their biggest prize was the cosplayer of the LBL, who I don't care about that guy. He says and does the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life. I'm just sorry that he ever entered anybody's life, you know, because of me.
Acts like a buffoon.
Yeah. Just reading some of the comments here. Yeah, so we got people trolling, you know, of course. We could just please get people to pray, that'd be great. I mean, it would be great.
The people.
So Anthony just messaged me. She got it done. So now we wait to see what
The news is.
Yeah.
It's just been a stressful morning.
I was gonna go live last night. She kept encouraging me to go out here and do a live, you know, last night and would pray, you know, but I just couldn't. I had to go back and forth between here and the house, getting things together. So, I don't know. It's just one of the most stressful things we've ever, you know, it's just, you'll ever deal with is when your spouse's health is in, you know, in jeopardy. I know we have to see this thing through and finish the fight with these lunatics, but I just really wish that she could step away. But she has to be giving this information over to the, you know. So, like I said, I don't want to give away too much or talk about it too much because I don't. But these people, they got a lot to answer for. We've been saying this for a while too, that her health was declining, and all the crazy talk and all the nonsense, you know, and them trying to paint her out to be some kind of harlot that talks to all these different guys from the community. That is such a lie. The reason I know that's a lie is because Nellie's with me like all the time, you know. I always give her the option too, you know. She wants to go with me, and she always does. She always wants to be by my side.
As much as she's able to.
Yeah.
And she's able to a lot, even with everything going on. You know, she fights through it all because she loves you and she wants to be around you.
Yeah.
She wants to be a part of everything. She doesn't want her illness to hinder, you know, us being able to do things. Or even though we all try to be accommodating and like we all try to be understanding, she's still, you know, is so giving in the fact that she's willing or selfless in the fact that she's willing to just bear with it, you know, in order to be with us and be around us. And sometimes it's hard. We had a meeting with our legal representative today, and even during that, she was struggling through, but she felt it was so important to be there to explain what needed to be explained and tell exactly what needed to be said. And
Another thing too, people don't realize is that Nellie has two broken vertebrae in her back, and that happened from a car wreck she had years ago, and it never healed right. And about, I guess, 5 years ago, has it been that long? Maybe it was about 5 years ago, I think. We were working out and she refractured it, and it also and at that time I think that's when it was, but she went to a chiropractor and it made it worse, and so the doctor looked at it and said it was a very old injury, and of course she knew that it was from her car wreck from a long time ago. At least that's what she thinks. And whoa, what did I do here? I think I got it off. Some kind of filter or something came on there. So she struggles with that, and she's actually she has a hard time mobility wise. Like, she's in a lot of pain, like a lot, and she doesn't take pain pills, and so she sometimes just and she didn't like me talking about it. That's the thing. I don't even want to sit up here and talk about it because it's her business, and she doesn't want to appear as weak. But she sits there and languishes in pain all the time. So people don't really know. They really don't understand the heart of this person. They don't understand how strong she is spiritually. She's a little bitty person. Like, it cracked me up that this doughboy had the nerve to say she's a big girl. No, she's not. She's a very small person. She is not a big girl. She's not a big woman.
she's just big-hearted.
Yeah, and so she's not a very big person, but she's got a big heart, and she's very strong and very motivated, and she's got a brilliant mind. She's super smart. She makes wonderful music and poetry, and she don't use AI poetry. No, it's her own mind. And so there's people that just, like I said, they hate our guts, and they hate her because she won't let them just rip us apart and rip the community apart. And so they hate her. They hate us because we won't back down and let them, tear us apart and tear the community apart and everything else. So when you're standing in the gap for as long as we've been standing in the gap for a lot of people, you get attacked, and we got more arrows in us than you can imagine, front and back. So I hate that she has to go through this, and I don't think she deserves it, but I don't think it's really about deserving. It's just life. This is what we deal with. And I know this isn't about the paranormal right now, and this isn't, but if you guys want there to be shows and be whatever, we got to stand together, because, and I'm not asking anybody to do anything illegal at all, to do anything physically to these people, or to try to hurt these people, or to go out and say mean things to them, because that's not going to help anything. But just be supportive and understand, that when we talk about this stuff, we're doing it because we want you to be aware of it. We're not asking you to go out there and punch these people or do anything like that. Just know that and understand that there is this lunatic fringe out there who is just absolutely obsessed with our show, and not in a good way. And they basically want us to stop doing the shows. They want us to quit. And for whatever reason, their reasons they got a million reasons, but none of them are worth a crap. I've already said that before. And so Nellie has just been like a person that's been on top of this situation, protecting us. She created PRT News to protect us, and to expose these people and to show what they were doing, and expose their lies and their hypocrisy, and that's, but it's taken its toll on her, you know. In my opinion, like, I mean, I honestly believe there should have been more support, you know, from different people, you know, because she's protected a lot of people, that are people that should have done more and said more. Yeah, I feel that way. And I've told Nelly before that, you know, if people, you know, don't fight for everybody, because it's not our, they need to fight for themselves, you know. But and then she always tells me, you know, she's like, no, I'm going to defend the community. I'm going to do what's right. And yeah, it just, you know, here we are. She's in the hospital, you know. Yeah. And Linda says, why are these people so obsessed? If they put half as much energy into their own channel as they do stalking, they might actually have subscribers. Exactly.
I tell you, I say that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, they are morally irreprehensible,
Reprehensible.
reprehensible, and they can't see any other way besides being cunning and devious, and they believe that being cunning and conniving equates to intelligence. So they believe that they're doing something by being the way they are, when in reality, working hard and sticking to what you know is correct and doing the correct thing is, I believe, the sign of a higher intelligence. Because what they do, even though they might seem or think that they're all these brilliant, conniving, cunning, smart people, in reality, they take the easy way out, which is to pour as little effort as possible into their own channel and just attack others and bring them down, so that everyone is on the same playing field, as which is just in the muck.
Yeah. Instead of bringing their vibration up, just attack people and bring them down. You know, that's the whole game. That's ridiculous. You know, we should be raising the ships, not trying to sink everybody else's so that you're the only one floating. Just a big game for these people, you know. But, you know, when they start losing, then they get real hateful and nasty. And they just lie like crazy, dude. They just lie. One guy over there was joining in. He's part of the NIDP. He's the Southwest director of the NIDP, of the IDP. Sorry. And it's crazy. Like, he actually just joined in and started and said that we had this like conversation where I started being mean and nasty to him. That's not true, because I'm going to post all of the conversation in PRT News and show you exactly what was said. I went to this guy in good faith and tried to talk to him and say, hey, can we talk? Why are you attacking me? And he just got really mean and nasty and ugly. And then he's claiming that it was the opposite, that I got really mean, nasty, and ugly. Now I'm going to show you the conversation, because he chose to pick a fight with me based on what lunatic Nunley over there is saying. And
With no proof.
with no proof. And I'm going to say this too, you know, if something goes south with Nelly's health, you know, there is going to be a price to pay, because it is completely illegal to sit there and push someone who has a serious health condition. We've said this before. And all we've done is repost what they've been saying and just defended ourselves. And they just keep on. They keep on. What's up, BMR? How you doing? They just keep on and keep on. They don't stop. It's like there's just no off switch for these people. And so now here we are. We're at the hospital, and I'm so sick of it. I just can't, you know.
When Martin was ill, none of us attacked him. None of us did anything to him.
We prayed for him.
We prayed for him, and they don't have the human decency to take a break for even a second. Barton has said it himself that as soon as as soon as he was okay and he started commenting again, getting back into it, he said, like, oh, I haven't even thought about them. That's because we didn't mess with you. That's because we stopped attacking you because you were ill, and we understood what was the correct thing to do, which was not be evil people and attack someone when they're ill, because we understand what the true purpose in life is, and is not to be a degenerate person like that, and they don't have the same sensibility or human decency to do the same. They will never stop because they even, in fact, will deny that she is even ill at all. Which, I mean, Wolf has said it before. We wish that was true, but unfortunately, the situation is she's dealing with something very serious and something very painful, and they are attacking her for it, and they won't stop.
And I can't tell you how absolutely frustrating it is to sit here and just constantly have to defend ourselves for for shouldn't have to be like this. When we started PRT 7 years ago, we started it, me and Tony and Anthony and Armando, we started it with this like vision of like, hey, we're going to help people and we're going to bring the community together and we're going to talk about everything. The first episode if I remember correctly, it was the first episode we were talking about how we were going to discuss everything. We were going to bring it all together, and we've been trying to do that. And instead, all it has brought us is heartache and pain and a lot of suffering. But the thing that people don't understand is that people like me, I was forged in suffering. I've suffered a lot in my life, and I learned to forego the comforts of whatever modernity. And I've lived in my car. I've suffered. I know what it's like to not be. I know what it's like to go without. You know, and once you learn to not have the normal comforts of life, you become a different person. You're able to handle things that most people can't handle. And when the average modern person doesn't have those comforts, they fold like a cheap suit and they can't take it. They can't deal with it. And so these people they're in for a rude awakening. They don't realize who they're messing with. They still have not learned that I am not one of those people that's just going to roll over and just give up and just let you kick us and you're going to destroy us. These people are vile and they're nonsensical. And I'm done trying to make peace with them. I'm not going to make peace with these people. I don't give a crap at this point. It's going to be taken care of, one way or the other. And, nothing, no threats. You'll see. Because they've done enough now to where it has to, yeah, you give them enough rope and just let them do what they're going to do. And if they choose to believe the lies that are being told by their friends aren't really their friends because they're getting them in trouble. They're telling them these things that we supposedly do and say, which isn't true. But you can't convince these people that, because they want to believe this crap. If somebody comes and tells you something you don't want to hear, you can just dismiss it. But then when they tell you something, and then you just jump all over it, it's because you wanted to believe that. You wanted to hear that. You wanted that to be the truth. You wanted that to be the case. So you latch onto it.
It's something I told uh, the Marshmallow Puff, that is Clef, back when this was all starting. I had an hour-long conversation with him while I was at work, and I told him, what makes a good friend is that they're willing to get to the bottom of things, and that they just don't betray them, or that they just don't turn their back on someone based on the words of people that aren't very close to them. But the fact that you chose to believe this nonsense, and the fact that you chose to go after us in the way they did, shows me that you weren't being a good friend. In fact, you were trying to use us for something, and when you couldn't achieve what you wanted, then all of a sudden it's our fault and we're the evil ones. Well, sorry, we didn't. I don't know what he wanted us to be, his boyfriend, or for him to be on the show or what. But sorry, that's not what we're about. Me and Wolf were reminiscing earlier on the drive over here about the hard times that we had to experience, and I was telling him, like, I remember when I first moved in, you know, we didn't have a lot, and taking on another mouth to feed wasn't easy on the household. So I tried my best to limit what I ate and limit what I did so that it didn't cause a strain on the household, because Wolf and the guys were already doing me a big favor by allowing me to come and live with them. So I told him, I was like, I don't know if he knew this, but I only ate when I went to work was a cup of ramen and a Arizona iced tea, or a green tea. And that cost about $2, and I ate that every day. And sometimes I wouldn't even ask them for the money. I would try to find it myself. And it wasn't because I knew that if I asked them, they would have given it to me. But it was the fact that I didn't want to cause any more strain. And like that was, in my eyes, trying my best to be helpful, and me trying to be loyal to these people who have been loyal to me when I was in a rough situation. And it just like sickens me to see Clough, who in a moment's notice turns his back on us, and Larry and Barton, who we've done all these good things for, but then will turn their back on us. He's calling.
Yeah,
But I
and
mean, you get the point. It's just a sickening act on their part, because
we had 6 people that were living there at that time. It was crazy. It was ridiculous, because my brother had come with his son.
all big eaters too.
Yeah, and it was hard, man, and we weren't doing well financially, and we were going through some stuff, man, but anyways, folks, my wife is calling, or Anthony's calling, I guess, and we're gonna go inside now. But we're gonna let you go. Thank you for the prayers, and please continue to pray. Thank you.